Of course, I love a bit of shopping. And like everyone, I want online shopping to be amazing. Strangely, online stores are often quite generic. Merchants tell me they have the vision, but they can't be hiring the armies of designers and content creators that they think they need. They don't though. What they need is something called structured content and a little bit of everyday coding magic. Hello, I'm Simen Svale. I'm the CTO and co-founder of Sanity.io, an expressive content platform that you should probably check out if you care about stuff like this, because this is 5 ways to make your product pages stand out using everyday structured magic. So pro tip number 1 is about showing off what we already have using transforming product layouts. This is the layout of almost every product page on the internet. For some reason, this is supposed to fit every kind of product, be it a 50-cent hex bolt or a $1,000 fire pit. This, of course, makes no sense. If I want a specific bolt, I'll be looking for it. I just care about a couple of key specs. On the other hand, deciding on a fire pit, that's like a whole thing. In the golden age of mail order, no one would ever have thought to shoehorn such different products into the same design. Does that mean we need those armies of designers back to handcraft product pages? Of course not. The designers and developers of our time can create layouts that respond to the content and dynamically rise to the occasion. Here is the Rad fire pit page again. I need to feel this product, right? Let's add a rule for that. So let's say premium products with high-res shots will automatically get this look. Next, all of these images, they would be really helpful if anyone would look at them, ever. But unless I'm already pretty sold on this, I'll never click on those tiny thumbnails. So let's add a rule for that. Let's say lifestyle products with galleries will be organized like this. We will kind of automatically generate this photo layout in this way. Let's do one more thing. These diagrams are not really selling the lifestyle. They belong with the specs, so let's add a small rule for that. So now, comparing the bolt and the fire pit, one is clearly the premium lifestyle product. The other is just a very useful part. All this work we just did is not about the fire pit at all, right? It compounds because this makes every premium lifestyle product stand out in our store. And we are able to do this because we treat our content as data, and we allow our layouts to make decisions based on that information. So here's a nice example of that in the wild. This is Rad Power Bikes. They use this layout for their nice premium e-bikes, and then a simpler one for spare parts and accessories. It's just a very nice thing when things that are different looks and feels different. And it might just help people make more confident shopping decisions faster. Which brings us to pro tip number 2, bringing specifications to life. I'm getting a new rear wheel for my bike, but I can never get all the specs right. So now I have 4 wheels that I need to return. Of course, the information I need is all here in this jumble, but so much of this is irrelevant, so it just confuses me. So for these kinds of products, the images are secondary, and burying the specs down here, often in this kind of collapsible section, is very common and not at all helpful. I like what Sonos is doing in their store. They take some key specs and they kind of bring them up here to the top of the page. We can do that. Let's add a rule for that. Let's invent a core specs section and have it live right here. This might not always appear for every product, but when it makes sense, our maintainers can just create a mapping like this. It's kind of content, right? And suddenly, these are highlighted near the top of every relevant product. So for some important product categories, we could create bespoke design for these sections. Like here is one for tents, and this could be one for shoes. I know this is not a super rare thing. A lot of stores do something like this. But the point here is to automate it. By creating these mappings and these kind of reusable designs, there is no need for anyone to manually add these sections to new products as they are added. Every product in the category, current and future, will have their key stats highlighted in this way. So now someone like me will immediately be able to home in on the relevant specs and get the right wheel the first time, right? Just avoiding those returns should make it worth it. Which brings us to pro tip number 3. Being great at being wrong. Most of the time when we look at the product page, it's not the right product for us, right? What do? We go back to our search, maybe even all the way back to Google, and we look again, which is bad because we probably had the product you were looking for, but you're off. So actually the main job of a product page is to be the wrong page, or at least to guide me in the right direction when it is. Often we'll have like a related products section, but it's kind of desperate and very not so helpful. I mean, we know this person is looking for a wheel, right? And we know the key specs they are likely to care about. So we can easily stick this Explorer right here, allowing you to home in on the wheel that ticks all their boxes. And this is all powered by the specs we already have, so this works for a lot of product categories without a lot of special work. Skims is doing a similar thing for shapewear. Looking at the product, they break out its main properties. This is a bodysuit, it's a soft smoothing product, and the color is desert. Pick the facet that kind of matters the most to you, and you will immediately see relevant product that help you make your way towards what you wanted. I also love this store by Baggu. You enter the store and you get a sense of the selection. If you then click on any bag, the various designs are still available right here. It's like the entire store is right there on every product page. Stuff like this keeps shoppers inside our store by being helpful, by guiding them. It's like what a good salesperson did in the olden days, right? They used to guide us, help us understand the products and put them in context. That brings us to pro tip number 4, products in context. So, I find that it can be quite challenging to see how different products fit together. Like this fire pit, these tongs, this lid, this griddle and these benches, they go great together, but I'm commonly left to figure that out by myself. So a simple image like this contributes to making the product pages pop. It helps me understand the product in a greater context, and by adding some hotspots like this, that will help me shop the related products. So in terms of creating content, we have not only improved the page of the fire pit, but all of these different product pages appear more inspiring now with just the one image. One company putting this to good use is the sweets-themed self-care brand Allkinds. They sell a facial wash that looks exactly like strawberry jam. They also sell bath sponges that looks like toast. Showing these two together like this helped me make my gift to my niece much funnier, in my opinion. On that same page, if you scroll down a bit, we get to an example of our last pro tip for now, pro tip number 5, Automagic Story Bits. These are some beautiful little cards about key ingredients. They help enrich the story about the product, and I don't know how many there are. I counted 14. It's not a lot of content. But these cards appear automatically based on the product ingredients, so they will keep on improving existing and future products with no extra work. This can be such a powerful approach. How about these trail running shoes? This is a very rich page full of content. Like this bit is about this particular line of urban style technical performance shoes. This bit is about the benefits and trade-offs of low drop shoes. It links to a famous book about this style of running, but it also offers to take you to a more conventional set of shoes. This bit is about an athlete endorsing this line of shoes and her involvement in the design. And this bit is about the value of this particular branded waterproof membrane, and it offers other shoes with the same technology. Then this bit is about trail running in general. It embeds a video about getting started. So I could go on. The point is that all of this content can be attached to this product based on its features and its category. Only this little bit is specific to these particular shoes. The rest is so useful to the shopper, but it's all reusable and helps us understand the product better, but also to discover similar or alternative products. This is really leveraging structured content and layout rules. In an expressive CMS like Sanity, we would let content creators make both the rules and the content, so that the entire store can be gradually improved and enriched over time without necessarily waiting for designers or developers. The beautiful bit is that even as our selection of products evolve, these bits keep telling our stories. So that's it. 5 ways to make your product pages stand out using structured magic. Bottom line is, a little content can go a long way if you think of it as structured data and allow it to really drive the experience. Thank you for watching.